Welcome back to the 25 days of puppy Christmas card ideas, where we're helping you decide what you're going to do for your Christmas cards this year with your dog. This one is all about earmuffs, scarves, and going outside.
The 25 days of puppy Christmas card series can be done with one or many dogs, created with a traditional camera or your phone, done in your house or outside, and range from elegant and refined to fun and quirky, so there's a fit for everyone. And don't forget, these photo shoot ideas also make for great social media advent calendars, even if they aren't all going to be used on your Christmas cards. If you're using a traditional camera, I recommend you set up a remote shutter release through a clicker or an app on your phone so you can take photos from where you're posed. If you're using your phone, I recommend you set it to cinematic video and take screenshots of the best frames after, since pups tend to move around a lot and you don't want to stress over missing the shot. Each of these episodes is designed for a specific card template that will link in the caption, but you can use this on whatever template works best for you.
Now for this, all you need is a scarf, some earmuffs, maybe a warm sweater or a cozy jacket. You can put a scarf on your puppy dog. You can put earmuffs if they tolerate them, and if they have the longer ears, the pointy ears probably won't work so well. But this is going to be a really cool opportunity for you to create content where you're going outside. Now you can go outside and do this, do it in front of your front door, do it in your yard, do it where it's snowing. I'm sitting in front of my door on the staircase, like we're getting ready to go out. I'm putting on my ice skates and we're gonna go run out on the pond, all those fun things. That's the vibes we're going for this. So you wanna make sure that you are kind of looking like you're going outside to play. You're getting ready to go traveling or Christmas caroling or all of those fun things. And you're dressing up your puppy to do this as well. So you wanna lean into the, we're going out, we're playing, we're doing all the fun things, and this can be inside, outside, whatever's gonna work best for you. And then you just wanna test earmuffs out on your dog before you do it. Do the photo really quick, and then if you're doing other things, you can do that as well. Sometimes they don't like to wear these, and kid earmuffs might actually be better if you have a smaller puppy. Gem's still a puppy, so you gotta see what works best for them, and then go with however they're comfortable, because they may not like it, and maybe you just need to dress up and they can wear their scarves, and then you can head outside.
Drop your photo into Photoshop or whichever photo editing platform you're going to be using, and we're going to start with our local retouches. So I'm going to come in on my clone tool, 28% opacity, and grab the skin on my forehead, holding the option key down to select it, and then I'm just going to gently paint in a little bit of light, because when I took this photo, the lighting was directly overhead. It was not facing at me like I typically recommend, but I was working with being right in front of the front door. And so I am going to grab my dodge tool. I'm going to add a little bit of light to my eyes. You can also do this with the brightness and contrast panel. You can tweak that however you are going to need. And I'm just going to lighten up my dog's eyes just a little bit as well. Now, if you need to sharpen anything, you're going to use your sharpening tool. Oftentimes we have to sharpen dogs' eyes and their nose a little bit. You can sharpen your own if you need to. Your goal here is just to make sure that this is the best that you can. And we've talked a lot about this in our other episodes as well. So make sure you go back and watch that. And then we're going to work with our coloring. So first things that I want to do is deal with my overall coloring. I'm going to come into a brightness and contrast panel. I am going to make this a little more contrasty and bump up my brightness just a touch. And then I'm going to do it in specific areas. So using my lasso tool, I'm actually going to highlight part of my face here. I'm going to go into my new brightness and contrast panel. I'm going to bump up the brightness and bump up the contrast. But you can see it made me a little bit on the yellow side. So I'm actually going to go in and tweak that in a minute, because we want to make sure we have that natural skin tone. I also want to make sure that the dog is popping as well. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight some of Gemma's face, bring up that brightness, bring up that contrast, maybe move it down just a touch. And then I'm just going to paint that over her fur where it makes sense. Sometimes you don't want to do everywhere. If it's too bright, you can actually lower your opacity a little bit. And then on a black brush, 100% opacity, a soft round brush, you can just paint that off just a little bit there. So I may want to maybe make this a little more contrasty down here with my scarf, so I can just pop up the contrast right there. And again, on that soft round brush, 100% opacity, I can just paint that on wherever that makes sense. You can also play with your hair that way. And then I want to deal with my wall just a little bit, because I want that to pop just a tiny bit more. So I'm going to lasso part of that, pull up that brightness and that contrast, and then I am just going to paint that around me so that the wall just pops a little bit more. I can even do that on the steps if that's something that I want to do, but I don't want to necessarily draw attention to the steps. I want it to be here, so I want us to be the brightest part of this. Now I'm going to grab my lasso tool. I am going to highlight my face here, and I'm going to come down to my selective color. And in selective color, there are different color channels. So based on what the underlying colors are for faces, it's going to be red and yellow and maybe sometimes the neutral panel. And I am just going to slide down the yellow. Now you can see how that made me kind of pinky. Let me go ahead and and really make sure that's all over my face there. So you can see I can slide this and change that to be whatever I need it to be. If it goes too pink, then I can take away the magenta. Now it kind of leaves me a little bit lifeless. So I'm going to bump back up my different colors until I'm happy with those results. I can bring it down with the saturation. I can bring it up with the saturation. Maybe the red channel is not what's going to be working for me. So maybe I need to actually come into the yellow channel, and I need to kind of tweak some of those things as well. Maybe I need to also go to the neutrals and pull out the different color tones to be a little more effective for whatever it is that I am creating. And again, based on your location, you're going to be doing different things to the skin. Now, in general, this is a little bit not the right color, so maybe I want to back off that opacity for this a little bit until it looks a little more natural. Depends on how you shot it, where you are. If you're in an outside setting for this, you can leave your skin looking a little more blue than yellow. If you're inside, you want to make sure it's a little more of that natural yellow, but outside you can get that wintry blue, which we've shown you how to do in other episodes, so make sure you are paying attention to that as well. And when you're ready, you can drop it into your template. For your card, you're going to want to be looking at those outdoor activities. So think ice skates, snowflakes, those pretty ribbons, and then classic words, Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. You can go with anything that has to do with ice skating or being outside or building snowmen or whatever it is that you're getting ready to do in this picture to go outside and do. That can be a part of your overlay. If you have a lot of blank space, you can write your message in here. You can sign things. You can kind of move stuff around. But this is just a fun little like lower third way of incorporating these elements into your image and then having that wintry, we're going outside vibe for your card.
Now, the fun part about this is it can be done in a single image with an overlay about going outside and having fun in the snow, building a snowman, going ice skating, all those classic nostalgic things that we like to do with the holiday season. Or you can do it a multi-window, like a photo booth, where you are going to be different posing. So you can be looking at each other, getting their scarves ready. You could even be getting ready. Like if Gemma wanted to sit up now, I could actually be getting her scarf on and looking like I'm dressing her, dressing me. I could pretend to put on my earmuffs so that we could take those pictures together and have multiple windows where we can be doing really fun things inside of this card. And again, leaning into the fun and joy of being outside at Christmas time is really going to work to your benefit for this one. Now, there are 24 other ideas on the channel. You can go check those out. Use the other 24 as a social media advent calendar leading up to the big reveal of your Christmas cards. So there's 25 days leading up to Christmas, 24 of those leading up to the big reveal on Christmas Day. And you can, of course, use these to leverage inside of your business to reach out to the people that you want to send these fun cards to. You can do this in your friends and family circle. You can do this however you want to be doing this. It's lots of fun, and you get to spend some quality time with your puppies. And then I recommend taking them outside for the fun. Follow along for those other 24 episodes and daily videos helping you navigate the world of being a pet parent so that you can live the best, most effective pet parent life with you and your dog absolutely thriving. We'll see you then.